Hello, and welcome to the movie universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have been solely against Tommy and Kat getting together. And I've said a few reasons why here and there, but I've never made a full video on it. But I always promised I would. So, today is that day. Now, for those of you who don't know, it all started back in 1993 when Tommy first entered Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and became the Green Ranger. He almost immediately met Kimberly hard, and she was smitten with him right from the beginning. And, well, it was kind of obvious that he liked her too. But nothing was done until the Green Candle episode when he asked her out to the dance, and he kissed her. And for a while, Tommy would be out of the picture because he didn't have his Green Ranger power. And when he came back, he and Kimberly hung out together, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, he would lose his power again, and then he would become the White Ranger. And there have been a few times that they went out on a date, they did some dancing, they did all kinds of stuff. And then when Kimberly left the show and was replaced by Kat, well, that was pretty much the end of that story there. And for a while, they talked about Kimberly. And then in Power Rangers Zeo, she wrote him a Dear John letter. And, well, that was the end of it once and for all. And then Kat, even though she didn't try this immediately, she moved in on him, and, well, they tried to force this whole idea of him and Kat getting together. And not that much came out of it, except for maybe a season to remember where they're old and they got grandkids now and stuff like that. Nothing was really said about that ever since until Dimensions in Danger, when we hear that Tommy has a son named JJ. And Kat was in that episode too. She was captured. When you see them leave, they're holding hands. And then Boom Studios released a comic book called Soul of the Dragon, where they pretty much announced that they are married and JJ is their son. And of course, in Once a Ranger, they make it very clear that, yeah, Kat is Tommy's wife, which I do not support at all. Now that we got the backstory, now I'm going to explain why I don't support it, and I never will. It comes down to quite a few simple reasons. First off, when Kimberly and Tommy got together, there was a serious connection. I mean, a real connection. A connection that felt real, legit. You know, something like, well, like star-crossed lovers. And, you know, when Tommy looks at Kim, you could see love in his eyes. And the same goes for Kimberly. Now, back then, I thought it was just stemmed from the fact that they were good actors and actresses, and I'm sure that's part of it. However, it didn't come to light to me until recently when we had the tragic story that Jason David Frank died. And Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly, she did a little tribute video to him. And for everybody who saw the video, you know that she was crying her eyes out. She was really hurt by this. And that's the other reason why they made such a great couple on the show, because they were such good friends. And even in the rear behind-the-scenes footage, you see Jason David Frank kind of goofing off with Amy Jo Johnson a little. And that's what the deal is. When they're together, there's a serious connection that feels like love and friendship. And the way they're playing it off on the show, it feels more like love. But because they were such good friends in real life, that really helps add to it. That makes so much more sense. As for Kat, the way they are together, it's casual. It's like literally a casual relationship or a casual friendship. Take your pick. It amounts to the same thing as far as I'm concerned. And that's my biggest problem. Because when they're together, they're so casual. You don't see Tommy kiss Kat. Not even once. Now, maybe that doesn't necessarily prove anything because, you know, ever since Kimberly left the show, they've never really had any Power Ranger couples kiss each other. They always have them holding hands or hugging each other. So if that's your argument, okay, I'll give you that one. But I'm sorry, I cannot support Tommy and Kat being together. Tommy really belongs with Kim. And let's not forget, during Dino Thunder, he didn't even mention Kat at all. In fact, when he was stuck as the Black Dino Ranger for a while, Kira looked at the old photographs on his desk, and is Kat there? No. It's the original Rangers. She's not there at all. And plus, when they all went off to college, They all went their separate ways, quite literally. In fact, they were so separate that in Once a Ranger, Adam was shocked to find out that Tommy was actually a doctor. So obviously they hadn't kept in touch for a while. And there was no mention of Cat during Dino Thunder. And now all of a sudden they just throw that in there just to make up for lost time, I guess, huh? I'm sorry, I can't support that, and I never will. And don't forget, at the end of season 2, remember, the communicator still works, and who do you think's probably calling their grandson? Could it be Billy? Well, I suppose it could be, but he would be just as old as Tommy, probably older. So that'd be a little difficult. And most likely it's probably Alpha or Zordon. And Zordon is gone. Now they're leaning at the possibility of trying to bring him back thanks to Once and Always, but so far that hasn't happened yet. But either way, that's the key thing. When Tommy is with Kat, it feels like a casual friendship. And I am sorry, I cannot get behind it. I just can't. And I won't. Now, I know they're definitely putting it down that way with the comics, which are not canon as far as I'm concerned, with few exceptions. And as for them pushing this, I'm sorry. It is so forced. This whole thing is so forced. It's just messed up. Because, again, Tommy and Kat, casual friendship. Tommy and Kim, love, respect, there for each other, do things together, do more than just hold hands. And I've talked to quite a few people at the Comic-Cons and so on who agree with me that, I'm sorry, there is nothing, no spark, no nothing between Kat and Tommy. Now, Kim and Tommy, there's a spark. There's love. There's a real relationship. Whereas for Tommy and Kat, it's just casual. So there you go. That's why I don't support it. Now, in case you're wondering if I'm going to be one of those toxic fans that my friend DHR talked about, you know, the ones who are saying they refuse to watch shows and all that just because certain characters aren't in it, no. I'm above that sort of crap. I'm not going to just ignore a show or just refuse to watch a show just because of that. No. The only thing I'm going to say is I just won't support it. But I'm not going to be going like, it's not my Power Ranger. No. I'm not going to be like that about it because that's childish. The only thing I'm going to do is just not support it. And that's about it. And besides, with all the new stuff coming out, especially now that Amy Jo Johnson is going to be writing some new comic books for Power Rangers, who knows? Maybe she'll have Tommy and Kim get together instead. And quite frankly, I prefer it that way. Let me know what you think. This is Movie Fan, signing off.